Sicario opens with the FBI raiding a house in Chandler, Arizona. They crash an armored truck through the wall and start clearing the house. The first bad guy surrenders, but as they're clearing the rest of the house, a guy with a shotgun tries to kill Emily Blunt, but she smokes his ass. There's nobody else alive in the house, but they do end up finding 42 bodies hidden in the walls like fucking insulation. As the investigation goes on, some local cops are cleaning out the shed when they find a trapdoor. We don't get to see what's behind this trapdoor because a bomb goes off and kills 2 of the cops. They cut to Emily Blunt getting cleaned up from the blast, and then they cut to her sitting outside an office. Inside the office is Josh Brolin and a bunch of random dudes. Josh Brolin is playing a government spook and chooses Emily Blunt to be a part of his team. Sicario does a really good job of showing and not telling. They've had minimal exposition or unnecessary dialogue in the first 15 minutes. Everything feels natural enough so far, and the tactics and gear that the cops use look pretty believable.
You taking this?
Yep. Only the best for you.
Emily Blunt gets recruited into this special team now, and she goes to meet Josh Brolin at Luke Air Force Base. Bro shows up in a private jet with Benicio del Toro, and the 3 of them fly to El Paso. When they show up, they walk into a room full of federal marshals and Delta operators. They're giving a mission briefing about a prisoner pickup. All these dudes and Emily Blunt are about to go into Juarez, and they're mobbing deep, my boy. They roll in 5 deep with Tahoes, and they meet up with the Mexican police for an escort. They do a really good job showing how crappy things are in Mexico. They get to the rendezvous point, pick their guy up, then start heading back. This is where things start to get a little spicy. They start seeing extra police that aren't part of their escort, and everyone starts getting really antsy. And now for the iconic border crossing scene. Benicio del Toro sees a bunch of face tattoo motherfuckers surrounding the convoy, so he tells Glasses about this, and Glasses tells everyone else. As soon as the red car guy opens his door, everybody gets out and holds these guys up. The cops have these guys dead to rights, but I guess they're more scared of their bosses than dying, because all the dudes in the red car decide they want to get into a gunfight and they get absolutely fucking waxed. The green car guys seem a little more chill, but then they're like, fuck it, let's die too. And then Benicio del Toro and gang clap them also. One thing that bugs me about Emily Blunt's character is the way that she gives attitude about not knowing everything that's going on. This happens a few times where she talks back to Josh Brolin and he doesn't kick her right off the team. This is crazy because anybody who's ever dealt with any sort of boss like this knows that you either fit in with the team or you don't. And Emily Blunt is such a black sheep on this team that it doesn't make any sense. Especially since she choked when things started getting hairy crossing the border. You're telling me a guy like Josh Brolin couldn't have seen that coming?
He remembers you. I'm gonna step out. Timmy.
Ahorita vas a ver lo que es conocer a Dios en tierra yankee.
No, Medellín.
They bring the prisoner back from Juarez and then they torture him. Like I said earlier, Sicario does a lot of showing and not telling. Because of this, you don't really know all the little details if you're not paying close attention. We're an hour into this movie and I couldn't tell you who the main antagonist is, what the primary mission objective is, or why Emily Blunt is even on this team in the first place. Apparently it's so that the guy from Get Out can give them a ride to Tucson and progress the story. And I use the term progressing the story very loosely. The biggest progression in the story is when the guy from Get Out demands answers from Josh Brolin, and then Benicio del Toro exposits all over the audience so that we can catch up with everybody else. It cuts to the next day with Emily Blunt going through a bunch of gory photos on her computer before going to meet up with Josh Brolin and team at a hotel. They say a bunch of random things, and then we cut to a bank where the Phoenix SWAT team helps these guys bust people depositing money for the cartel. And then the movie foreshadows right into your fucking mouth. Yeah, you like that fucking foreshadowing, don't you, bitch? Take that shit, yeah.
Advisors like Matt come in, they stir the pot that cause the criminals to react and make mistakes. That's how we build cases against the individuals that actually make a difference in this fight.
Holy shit, dude. Can somebody explain to me how Emily Blunt is an asset to this team? She's 100% not on board with the mission, and it's really immersion breaking. And yeah, we find out later that these guys are CIA and they need an American agent in order to operate, but they could just pick someone else. They could just pick somebody that doesn't have so many objections. The truth is that any sort of cop, agent, soldier would be creaming themselves over getting a job like this. You get to wear regular clothes, have the coolest missions, and probably get paid more for doing it. It's a pretty cool reveal with the money band, but I think that they should have chosen somebody different than John Barenthal. The very second I saw his figure in the background, I knew it was him. I thought it was just a weird cameo at first, but then they actually focused on him. I knew he had to be a bad guy. There's no way you're just gonna bring a fucking random John Barenthal into the story and he's just a good dude. And now I think that the Get Out guy is bad too. He was all like, oh yeah, this guy's such a cool dude, fucking John Barenthal. Did you see him strike out at the softball game?
This is you did this. You did this.
Typical Phoenix PD activities. Holy shit, dude. You're telling me all these fucking guys are running single tube night vision devices? What is this, Operation Iraqi Freedom? Are these a bunch of fucking basic army infantry guys? What the fuck am I looking at? I'm sure 98% of people will see this and not bat an eye, but anybody who is a little familiar with night vision is gonna know that this supposedly tier 1 CIA team is using little baby back bitch night vision instead of the good stuff. Never mind that I don't see a single laser aiming module, a single silencer, or even like a fucking white light on any rifle in this whole movie.
Da la vuelta. Medellin.
They go and raid this tunnel, and the sole objective is to get Benicio del Toro through to the other side in order to get to the main bad guy. And then this happens, and once again, I just have to wonder what was the character's motivation. Once Emily Blunt saw that it was Benicio del Toro, why did she still hold the dude up at gunpoint? Maybe this is a hot take, but I'm gonna say that Emily Blunt deserved this shot to the chest. Benicio del Toro gets into the car with the cop we've seen with his family 3 or 4 times in this movie. Each time we see this guy, I'm wondering what the point is. I thought it was going to be something I was critical of, but in the end, I think that those scenes were a good way to demonstrate that everyone that dies has someone who will miss them. If those scenes are cut, it means nothing when Benicio smokes this dude.
Para mí sí.
Benicio del Toro uses the cop to get to the bad guy, and he uses the bad guy to get to the bad guy's boss. Once he's there, he kills the boss, his family, and all his guards. Then he comes back to America and threatens to kill Emily Blunt if she doesn't sign a paper for the CIA. And that's Sicario. The story is interesting. For most of the movie, they've got you thinking that this is a story about Emily Blunt being a CIA liaison, when in reality, this is a story of revenge for Benicio del Toro's family. I think everybody's acting was really good, but the writers did Emily Blunt dirty in this movie. I think that the whole plotline should have been dropped, and we should have just spent the movie following Benicio del Toro and his thoughts. By the time we get to the main plotline of this movie, we've got like 20 minutes left. The storytelling was top notch, I just think we were telling the wrong story for most of the movie. I'm gonna give Sicario a 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you. If you could like and subscribe, go ahead and comment down below with something funny if you want to help the algorithm. See you on the next video, guys.